Hello, this is Legendary Beeper and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the PlayStation Vita. Here it is, sexy looking piece of kit, and trying to answer the question, should you get one? Obviously just after Christmas, hope everyone had a Merry Christmas by the way, and lots of people got PlayStation 4s, and of course you've got the possibility of remote play on this beautiful piece of kit. So people might be wondering, should you buy it? So I thought I'd do just a short video to try and answer some of those questions and to show you some of the features, some of the different games, some of the different apps and things like that, and hopefully it will be of some use to people. So we'll start with the home screens. When you first turn your Vita on, obviously you might not have bubbles where you necessarily want them. You can put them in folders and things like that. I've got a folder marked useless there with all the things that came with it. I don't actually have a PlayStation 4. I went for the Xbox One instead for various reasons which I'm not going to go into now. But so I've put the remote play thing in another folder. But I do have quite a few different games. I also have a few sort of memory cards with more games on it. So one of the things about this which I particularly like is that everything is customizable. The home screen is customizable, which is a really good thing. You just hold down one of there. The bubbles, then you get different options about how you want to change things. So when you click on an option, for example, you can delete, update, get information about how big things are. For example, if I go to a game like Tearaway, information, and it will tell you how much memory it actually takes up, which is quite nice. You can also change the screens, so you can change different colours. You can also look at the photos you may have, images, etc., and you can change the wallpaper, which is, I don't know, just quite a nice feature really. And you can move things around, and you can make your own little folders. So again, if you hold something down like that, and you have the opportunity to move it and put it in a folder there. And there you go. So it was a lot better when it first came out, I tell you, because you had none of these options really. You did have the ability to change the wallpapers and stuff, but you certainly didn't have folders, so you had literally dozens of pages with lots of different games and apps, etc. So that's quite nice really, so you can move things around. I quite like the bubbles, the way it sort of they look clean, they look nice. Again, it was quite jaggy, some of the bubbles when they first released the Vita, but everything's been cleared up nicely, and it's just a really nice sort of user interface really. What's also very good is now you can turn Wi-Fi on very easily and do brightness and things like that. Before, you'd have to go into settings, you don't have to go to start, you'd have to wait, you would then go to, I missed it completely, haven't I? Network, Wi-Fi settings, and then you just turn on the Wi-Fi like that, okay, which is very clunky. Obviously I'd be able to do a bit faster. To go back home, obviously you can press the back button, or you just press the button down to the bottom left, get rid of that, and then your Wi-Fi is on. What they've done now, which is much better, is you hold down the home screen and it comes straight up, so that you can do things like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, deal with the brightness, your music, and things like that, which is obviously a lot easier. I'll turn Wi-Fi off because I don't need it now. The most annoying thing about the Vita has always been for me the memory cards. They just are so expensive, and I mean, they've reduced the price a little bit now, I think, but some of these games, if we take something like, well, Killzone, which is a great game, I'll show you that in a minute, if you find out the information about it. There you go, it's 4.6 gig worth of game, and if you're getting a memory card of 8 gig, even 16 gig, it gets filled up very quickly. And I've got a few games on this particular card which are quite big, so things like Persona 4, which is a great game. That's quite big information. There you go, 3.2 gig. So it does fill up very fast. So I have an 8 gig card. I also have a 16 gig where obviously most of this stuff is in. There are various sales on and things like that, and people who've used the PlayStation Network will obviously feel right at home here. And if you go on PS Plus, PlayStation Plus, then you get some games that you can download straight away, and that is definitely a reason to buy it. If you're buying, I saw an advert yesterday for game, it was about 150 quid with a Killzone bundle. If you look on the PlayStation Plus page, you get like an instant game collection. So things like There's Gravity Rush, Uncharted. Well, they're both free straight away to download, which is obviously very good. And then you've got other things that is discounted. So Terraria, my sort of game at the moment on there. It loads. There you go. So that's £10 basically, and you've got a trial and stuff like that. So you know the store is what you would expect. I mean, you know, I think most people will know what to expect. It's not particularly clunky. I really like it. I had a PS3. My complaint was always about the store and how it sort of worked, but this is this is all right really. And you do have a lot of choice. This idea that the PlayStation Vita has no games is not true. It might not have the games for you, and particularly if you're a Nintendo fan, you know, the 3DS might be a better bet in terms of the style of games. But to say it has no games is wrong. Right, another game I think you definitely should play is Killzone. I think if you're going to get the Vita, this is a very impressive piece of kit. This is more like the game where I suppose you'd show off to others what it can do, graphics and things like that. But it is. I've played through the whole thing. I haven't finished that many games anymore. I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting lazy. But I did finish this and played a bit of multiplayer, and I really enjoyed it. There is an update for it, which is nearly a gig, which I haven't updated it yet for multiplayer because I don't have the room on the card. But it is. Just continue campaign. It's it's a properly impressive game, and there's a lengthy cutscene which I will mercifully skip. So here we go. Just the first mission. So there's a bit of tutorial things as well, and just to give you an idea of how the game looks, etc. And you've got your usual controls. You've got obviously the dual controls on the Vita, which makes a huge difference for a game like this. You've got your top left sort of bumper for your iron sights, your gun sight. You can sprint easily. The weight of the movement is really good. I downloaded another sort of first-person shooter for the Vita, Resistance, which was all right. Oh, here we go. Quick time event. Down. Nice. I'll learn him. Pick up ammo. Yeah, you can get loads of money, unlock lots of stuff, which is really good. And the levels are reasonably open as well, which is quite good. And you can do the usual stuff in any first-person shooter, and it is, I suppose, just quite. I sort of spent the first half an hour being completely amazed that I could do this on a handheld, and it's a properly good game. It's not like filler or anything. They've designed it really well. It looks great. It sounds great. The multiplayer is good, although a bit small. But this is definitely one that you should pick up. And finally, the apps. They're, reasonable selection. You've got YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You've got the browser that does a job. It's fine. It's got better with updates. Actually, it's got quicker, and you can do stuff like use the back sort of touchpad to scroll up and down, which is it's fairly good. I don't use it that often, to be honest, because I've got tablet, smartphone. I'll use them, and I just use this for gaming. But it is there, and the apps do work well. The only downside really for me about this whole system is two things really. The first thing are the triggers. I don't particularly like the triggers. They feel a bit loose. They feel a bit sort of unstable really. They work and they're perfectly accurate, but I'm not a big fan of the build quality of the triggers. And I've heard that the new version of that, which is out in Japan, the new Vita, has addressed that, and also has addressed the battery life. I mean, I get about 3.5–4 hours out of my battery. The brightness is reasonably high. They reckon about between 4 and 5 hours, and so I suppose that's the only annoying thing. But yeah, I hope this has been fairly helpful. Again, let me know if there is anything in more detail you'd like me to have a look at. But thank you for watching.